Women Unchained. This is our premiere episode. I'm Cleaver, and I'm here with Sarah, Kath, Kelly, Crypto Queen, and Jess, also known as Space Buns. We are here to talk about a women's perspective in the crypto world and life in general. To start off, we're going to talk about how we got into the crypto world. So, Crypto Queen, how did you get into crypto?
Yeah, so my story is a bit different because I started my investing journey in the stock market back in 2015. And there was this colleague that was trading stock at that time, and he was always carrying this beginner's book for traders. And this book was about how to read candles and chart patterns so you can eventually learn where to find your entry and where to exit to make your money. And at some point, I was really intrigued and started to ask if I could take a look and what is it all about. And I find it really interesting. So also I started to Google and I wanted to learn how to read those chart patterns as well. And after a period of time, I created an account on one of those trading platforms and I deposited a couple thousand and started to trade. And I must say it was a bumpy road in the beginning, but I actually started to make money almost every day. So that was really cool. And that colleague literally told me that I got better than him in a short amount of time. And I was really proud of myself. But maybe it was he knew the risks better. And it happens that I am a risk taker, so I didn't hesitate too much on my trades.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's a little background before my crypto journey started, because not much later this colleague was talking about crypto and also about meme coins, and he was talking specifically about Dogecoin. And I found it very weird because it was a meme of a dog with no utility and such, but there seemed to be some sort of community behind it. And I was like, what is the potential? But he had this feeling that this could do something in the future, and he had some Dogecoin just in case. And my husband thought, well, let me buy some of that coin too, just in case, you know. And I bought as well every month to top it up. And I wanted to buy even more because I kind of got addicted or so. But my husband was like, well, for a meme coin, that should be enough. If it will pump, it will pump and it will be good. So we have been holding this for 4 years before it got skyrocketed like crazy with, of course, the help of Elon Musk, and Dogecoin was absolutely all over the place and you can't miss it, right? And we partied like crazy. It was really good. So to keep the story short, I made my first gain in crypto on a meme coin.
So I think you are the most experienced one out of all of us. But we'll hear about everyone else in just a second. So Kelly, what brought you into the crypto world?
Well, good morning. My journey into the crypto world started with a friend who was really into crypto. She kept talking about crypto, and like most people, I was a little bit leery of the crypto world because I didn't understand it. And she gave me some information, so I started to dive in, and of course, like a lot of people, my first purchase was a meme coin, which, you know, it's a fun community. It's a fun coin. But after that, I started doing some research and I started learning about the major coins, the layer ones, and it kind of just progressed from there. I did a lot of research. Reddit was a big place for me to look. And it's kind of snowballed from there.
So are you still in that meme coin, or did you moon out?
No, my first one, I actually still have it. It's kind of like a nostalgia thing for me. I'm not sure I'm going to sell those just because it was the first coin I bought. The other meme coins that came behind it, those I all cheated out of right away.
That's awesome.
and started putting my investments into more serious projects and ones with, some clout behind them, some research. So.
And how long ago did you say that was? So how long have you been in?
I've been in just over 2 years. I've been in crypto. So.
Was it Shiba Inu, Kelly? Was that your first meme coin? Shiba?
No. My first meme coin was Doge.
Okay.
She was my second one, and that one I cheated out of. That one was a little too much up and down, but Doge was fun. They have a fun community, and I just kind of stayed in on it, and I'm just gonna ride it out. Maybe nothing will ever happen with it, but I'm okay with that. It wasn't a tremendous first investment. I kind of just dipped my toe in the pool. So.
Yeah. Kath, what about you?
Yeah, so similar story, I guess. It was a colleague in my case who was talking about crypto, and so I work remote. My team is dispersed across the country, and so we do a lot of our work with screen sharing and calls like that. So we were just chit-chatting on a call, and he brought up a few different websites like Crypto Bubbles. I love that site, and he was showing me so at that time it was just like late in 2021, and that was 2021 I think was the year that SHIB did have its crazy climb after the Elon tweet. So he was just showing me those things, and he was not a DeFi investor. He was just on a few exchanges with some of the blue chip, definitely a more conservative investor. But it got my wheels spinning. And I think within about a month, I decided that I was going to go for a moonshot. I wanted a SHIB, right? So I registered for an exchange. I'm in Canada. So I did, some research to find an exchange that would interact easily with my banking system. And I found one, and I was like, okay, I'm going to put like $250 in. And before I knew it, I had like 15 different currencies in because I was going on Crypto Bubbles on that website and looking at all of the coins in there, and then reading about them. I would like read the project name and then go and find the white paper and like, oh yeah, okay, well I like their use case, and I like their use case, and I like their use case, and so I had so many. And of course, then I was like, oh, well, okay, maybe now it's going to be $500 and not $250, and kind of worked up from there. But that was where I started, and that was an exchange where I could only go from fiat to crypto. I couldn't do any swapping of crypto to crypto, and I was like, well, this seems. There's got to be better options out there. So also, like Kelly, I ended up on Reddit. That was really my first place to go to start learning. I found the cryptocurrency subreddit and was just reading through there. So I think I found some obscure comment where somebody was talking up another meme coin, and it was early and it was going to do really well. And I was like, well, how do I get this? Because my little exchange that I found to use here in Canada does not have that coin listed. And how do I get it? So it took me a few days of more research, more Reddit, more Googling, more reading to figure out how to get some ETH out of that exchange into a DeFi wallet, set up a DeFi wallet, get onto Uniswap. And I think it took me hours that first evening to work through a swap on Uniswap to this meme coin. So I'm not in that meme coin anymore. But that was my segue into DeFi, and now I've never looked back. For me, the exchanges are just a way to on ramp and off ramp and get my base currencies.
Okay, well, that's awesome. So, Sarah, how did you get into crypto?
All right, my story is a little different because I had absolutely no knowledge or understanding of it. However, I'm married to somebody who lives and breathes crypto. He tried to explain it to me many times, and the pretty pictures sucked me in. I saw some NFTs and said, I want some of those. And that was how my crypto journey started, and really that's still about the only knowledge I have is the pretty pictures.
That's awesome. Do you have a lot of pretty pictures, or do you just have a couple?
I have a collection.
That's awesome. Good. Space Buns, how did you get into crypto?
So my story is kind of similar like Sarah's. My husband started learning how to do crypto a few years ago, and it wasn't until last year that I finally started kind of listening. And it was because I was involved with a project on their marketing team. And so I kind of had to learn all the terms and all the stuff. Now, am I fluent in it? Absolutely not. Still super green, still trying to learn everything. Sometimes I don't understand the whole exchanges and stuff, but I have picked up some since my husband started a couple years ago. So that makes him super excited because now all the time he's like, let's watch this, let's go do this. And I'm like, no, you go do it. So, but I'm still trying to learn all this stuff. So we'll see. And hopefully, moving forward and hanging out with all you girls, listening to your stories, it's going to make me want to actually get more involved into it.
Yeah, that's how, for me, that's how it was. I came in with a friend. My husband didn't know anything about it, but my friend is the one who brought me into her project. And so then I was kind of like, okay, I didn't know what a white paper was. I didn't know what anything meant. I'm like, how do I do this? She literally set everything up for me and was like, remember these 12 words, put them in a safe place, and don't ever lose them. And I'm like, okay. So I think mine was $100 is what I invested in. And so that was that was that 2022? So yeah, yes. Well, actually December 21, I think. And then because I was in the pre-sale. So I got in on the pre-sale of it. So with that, my first project was not a win. It was a fail. So have you guys ever been in a failed project? Kath, have you ever been into a failed project before?
I certainly have. And so I guess my second DeFi transaction after that first Ethereum one was a project that was on Binance Smart Chain. So that was a new experience as well. I had to figure out how to get some BNB because I couldn't get that base currency from the exchange that I had figured out. So yeah, I definitely have been in a failed project, and I came to that project through Reddit. There was some amazing art that sucked me in, and that also got me into Telegram for the very first time. I did not like Telegram at the start. I was used to the Reddit format, and Telegram was moving fast, and every time I opened it, there was 100 new messages that I hadn't read. But those messages, there was just a really, really fantastic community building there and a great vibe. And so I loved that project, but it did not work out.
Kelly, what about you?
I actually came in the same exact way as Kath. I was on Reddit. I saw this amazing art, and I thought it looked incredibly professional. It was really eye-catching, and I joined the Telegram group. When I joined, I was very new to Telegram, but I found the people were very helpful, and it was a very close-knit community that I wanted to be a part of. So, I stayed with the community and I invested in this coin. And yeah, I don't know if it was called a rug or what, but there was it launched and there was a good 3 minutes where I was over the moon with how much it was worth. And then, of course, it wasn't worth anything after that. But yeah, that was my introduction to my first launch coin. But I stayed on with the community after that because even though we all lost money, we kind of all stuck together and helped each other through it. And we all just kind of became like a family. So even though it was a failed project, it was actually a really good learning experience. It was a really good bonding experience. And a lot of us still are together today and talk, a lot.
That's awesome. So, Sarah, have you been a part of a failed project?
I have not, because I leave the investing to David to do, because that's not my forte. I have heard about several projects that have failed through him, but personally, I have not been a part of one.
So you just buy the pretty pictures and
I do. I just like the pictures.
Jess, what about you? Yes, I've been a part of the failed project, and it unfortunately was, the only project I actually ever have been a part of, and that just kind of was a bummer. But you live and you learn, and it's just one of those things that everyone always says: do your own research. And even though we were part of the research, it just still kind of, But just to Kelly's point, is you do build these relationships with these people. When you meet them. I've never been on Telegram before either until the project, and it taught me, to get to know people and reach out to people. And, I got to meet people in a different way because I was in charge of our swag shop. So I had a different personal relationship with a lot of people. And that was just really cool because people remembered me and be like, oh yeah, you wrote that note for me and you're in your package. And so it was a good feeling. So even though what happened, it still was nice to, that all of us were a family and we all had each other's backs. So.
Yeah, that's awesome. So, Crypto Queen, have you ever been in a failed project before?
Not really, because the major projects, and I mean the blue chips that I'm in, are still there, and which I'm confident that they won't fail, at least in the short term. So to answer your question is no, I haven't been in failed projects, but I have been in many failed degen projects, but I wouldn't call them projects anyway.
Okay. With moving on from failed projects to a successful one that we are all now a part of, how did each of us get into Blockstar? And Crypto Queen, let's start with you. What was your pull into Blockstar, and how did you become a part of it?
I am in a lot of Telegram groups for projects, but there were also lounges where the community shares information about an existing or new project, so they know where to invest in or where not to. And the owners of those lounges sometimes hosting AMAs for project owners, so the community of that lounge can actually learn directly from the team and ask questions about the project. And one day it happened that I bumped into Legit Crypto Lounge, where I met the owners, Toby and Mark. And I really liked the good vibes in the chat and all, and started to get to know those people. And I kind of sticked in there. So, and one of the community members was David, and he was talking about his upcoming project, Blockstar, and that he was working on for a couple of years. And he had several AMAs in Legit Crypto Lounge itself, but also in other Telegram groups. And I followed and listened to what he was working on, and I really liked it. And that's how I got into Blockstar.
That's awesome. So, Jess, how did you get transitioned into Blockstar?
So, kind of like CQ, we heard of this David guy in Legit Crypto Lounge because I was a part of another project that we were talking about there as well. And I remember he would always chime in and give us advice and stuff. Well, that project did what it did. And we ended up still talking with him, and he coached us for another project. And gave us advice and stuff like that, and ended up, working with him and talking to him probably every day. It seemed like, I feel like that I was talking to him with our NFT designer and leader, and just kind of came over to there and started working on marketing stuff with, Redbeard JR, as everyone knows him. So, and just kind of came in through there. And now I'm here with all of you lovely ladies.
That's awesome. So, Sarah, how did you get into Blockstar?
I guess I wouldn't say I got into Blockstar. Blockstar was formed in my house, so I didn't really have a choice. Blockstar's been a part of my daily life since it was just an idea that David had. I've gotten to see every step of the way, see the time and dedication that he puts into it on a daily basis. We always joke that I'm just the support system behind the scenes. I'm the bringer of the coffee, the one that keeps him fed, and sometimes I'm his unofficial secretary. Have to make sure that he's where he's at when he's supposed to be there, because he has so much going on that he tends to forget things. So I'm kind of the support behind the scenes.
That's awesome. Everyone needs their support person. Kelly, how did you get into Blockstar?
When the failed project I was in failed, we started having talks on Telegram. And I remember somebody jumping in who really sounded intelligent, sounded like he knew what was going on. He understood contracts in the crypto world. And I just thought to myself, this person is really smart and really knows what they're doing. And I really like to, keep in touch and follow up and listen to this person. And it ended up being David Hunter. And David Hunter kind of stayed with our community. And he just really just kind of mentored everybody. And he eventually started talking about his project that he was working on for years. And it just was kind of a natural migration into the project. It was just natural, I just kind of jumped into it, and I've been there, and I'm enjoying working with the project. I enjoy the people I work with. David's an incredibly intelligent person in this crypto stratosphere. Yeah. So I just really love listening to his knowledge, and I'm here. I'm here for the long haul now. I'm really in deep, and I love it.
That's awesome. Kath, what about you?
Yeah, so once again, my story runs quite parallel to the story that Kelly just told. From the failed project to helping out with another project where that community came together. We got to know David really well because he was just such a tremendous resource and mentor for that project. And when he got to a stage where he was ready to bring some more people in to help in a more direct way, I had the opportunity to jump in, and it's just been amazing. I think anybody who understands the vision of Blockstar and where it's going, we are just so blessed to have got in these early stages, give it a few years and the whole world is going to know about Blockstar. So really excited to be here.
Yeah, that's awesome. As well as the Jess, Kelly, and Kath have been a part of that project. That's how I believe the four of us met anyway, was through that project. So my story is like theirs as well, of getting into Blockstar and the same as I can't I don't know what to add to that, because everyone is hit just on point with everything. And I bought into Blockstar before I became a team member of Blockstar. And when he was like, I don't want anyone buying, I was like, well, I'm gonna. So I went and matched them up. And then December of last year, hopped right in too, and it's been definitely a blessing. And I'm ready to see what the future is going to hold for us in Blockstar and where we're going to go from there. Especially like now I'm with you guys and get to be on a podcast. This is my first ever podcast, so I'm so excited to do this. But so with that, what do you look for in a project? Do you just, because for me, I went in blind to the other one and I was like, hey, you know about this project. You're in this project. I trust you. Let's go. And then I'm like, all right, what's a white paper? What is this? And now I knew David, so I jumped into Blockstar blind again. I don't suggest that. I suggest you do your research. Always do your research. But mine, my blindness actually turned out to be a blessing. So, Kath, what do you look for in a project when you want to invest?
Yeah, so I don't know. I was all over the place at the start. You heard my story at the start. I think I like this. I think I like that. Like I do look into the use cases. I'll look at the chart history to see where it's been, as hopefully a predictive indicator of where it might go to again when the market turns the corner. But I'll be honest, I am not investing in a lot of other projects right now. Not even looking. I'm mostly into Blockstar, and I hold some base currencies, some of those other blue chips, but I'm not even looking. I'm so confident that Blockstar is where I want to be. That's where my resources are right now.
Yeah, that's me too. Kelly, what about you? What do you look for when you're looking at different projects?
Well, I actually rely a lot on the wisdom of others. I, again, do my research and I try to figure out projects where I think they have a good base, a good backing, a good vision. But, and I'm going to go back to David, because I told David what I was holding and what percentages, and he told me you're holding too many layer ones, which are the blue chips like Ethereum, Bitcoin. He said you need to expand out and do some other stuff. So I've been looking around, and really I'm looking for projects that are, one, well-known and have been there for a while. I have had way too much money that I've lost in projects that were emerging and then just kind of petered out, whether they were rugged or they just didn't catch on. So really, I do a lot of research. I look at how long a project's been in the space, the developers behind them, how much they're being talked about. If they're talked about too much and it seems like, it's all, smoke and nothing to back it, I kind of stay away from those now. So as I'm going, I think I'm becoming a little more seasoned and a lot more reserved. So that's really what I look for. I look for projects that I feel like they have a vision of where they're going, and a utility. Utility is now very important to me. I don't go in anymore for the moonshots. If there's no utility behind it, then there's no basis for me to invest my money in it.
Yeah, that makes sense. Crypto Queen, what about you?
When I do my research on projects, Sarah, I look for unique utilities like the world's first game-changing technologies, because I'm all about evolution and I'm open for the new. I find that really interesting, and I want to invest in. I'm also looking for utilities which will have a major impact on, for example, payments, security, blockchain technology, or the metaverse. I must say it's really time consuming to find the projects that has an experienced team with a lot of resources, partnerships that are very transparent and communicative towards their investors. Because I really care about that last aspect. I think that's very important. So I know where they are standing now and what we can expect for the short and long term. So a roadmap is definitely where I'll be looking at during my research, and also looking at their social activity, which touches the communicating part. So in a nutshell, I'm looking for the upside potential of any utility token with a unique concept that has a potential for mass adoption.
Yeah.
And with that being said, why I am invested in Blockstar is because they cover all of my requirements for making the decision of investing. There are so many utilities all in one place. You really don't need anything else. You go to the website and you will find anything you need in your life, right? And while some utilities are very known, like a social media or a music sharing platform, the uniqueness of Blockstar lays on the fact that they're built right on the blockchain and thus securing my privacy, because everything is completely decentralized. And I think this is really big, and I can't wait for the mass to find this out, because we can go on and on forever talking about Blockstar and its future potential. And the thing I really like about Blockstar is because this ecosystem we have here is ever growing, and I know David will never stop building. That's what I've been witnessing for like the last 18 months. Yeah.
Okay, that's awesome. Jess, what about you?
Well, my journey is kind of like what you had said, Sarah, or Cleaver, is that, I'm still really green in this space. So I haven't figured out what I like in a project. The only projects I've ever invested in are the ones that I've worked on. So I haven't really branched out, but listening to all of you ladies talk about what you look into definitely makes sense, and definitely makes me want to go research other things just to see what's out there. Education doesn't hurt by any means. So knowing what is a good white paper versus a bad white paper, what is a good utility versus a, joking, laughable, utility, just understanding that kind of stuff just makes me interested in wanting to do that. So, but yeah, right at this moment, I'm really invested with Blockstar. That's kind of my life right now, is just Blockstar and everything about it. I love, seeing, like CQ had said, all the utilities that come with it, and it's all in one place, and it's on blockchain. So, and I know that's a big concern right now all over of people, where their stuff is, and if it's secure and safe and they're able to use it themselves, they have control. So.
Yeah, that's so Sarah, have you learned how to do the research and like the projects of what you want to do, or do you leave that up to David?
Nope, I leave that up to David. Like I'll see the name of a project in a news article or something like that. I ask him about it. He gets on there. He does a little bit of research about it, tells me whether it's good, whether it's bad. But no, I really don't, because he's so educated in the space. I leave that part of it up to him.
Yeah. Will you go out and look for NFT projects mostly, or will you even look for something to invest into, not just for an NFT?
I have not. The NFTs, that I hold are from the Ember Project and then the Black Star Bears.
Okay.
Yeah.
There you go. Hey, I mean, that's what I got too. I'm kind of like with Jess, and I'm very new, and I'm not really looking for a project right now. I am really invested in a Block Star, and I don't know. Listening to everyone on what to look for will definitely help me in the future, because I want to in the future. And that's definitely something that I'll be looking into. But right now I'm just riding the building stage of Blockstar, and then I guess see where it takes me in the next couple of years. And then maybe next year I'll start investing in something else. But right now I'm just going to hang out and ride the wave of Blockstar. Well, thank you for joining the Women Unchained, and remember, this is not financial advice. These are our own personal stories on how we got into crypto. And remember to always do your research. We look forward to seeing everyone on the next podcast, so keep an eye out and stay safe.